that safe nursing paycheck is costing you more than you think. And this is a perspective shift that I myself had to experience. And I want to share that with you today because I think it's important, as other nurses are experiencing the same thing. But what's more important is the fact that I think what we don't realize as nurses is we get a paycheck every 2 weeks, and it becomes a security blanket for us. It becomes a way for us to say, my family is safe. It becomes a way, it becomes how we live in our safety net, because now we can budget and live and support our family off of that income. And it's almost a critical crossroad in your mind because, again, I understand the thought of it being safe, okay? But here's what I don't think we realize is that that thought is holding us back from so much opportunity, because we're locked in to fear that if we let that go, we'll never get it back. That's that fear. We're locked into, if I let this go and I start my own business and it's not a paycheck every 2 weeks and it's not consistent, then I am not living. We let this emotion trigger a survival mechanism in us. And that is challenging to overcome because that's how we've been living. Our body and our mind understand we are living here, we're surviving. Don't do anything stupid, right? Don't do anything crazy. But starting your own nursing career isn't crazy. Starting your own business isn't crazy. Lots of us do it. Lots of us are successful at it. But the mental hardwiring we've acquired up until this point makes us feel like this is a really bad decision. So I want to lean into that today, and I want to share my story with you because that safe paycheck is actually what is costing you. I realized that the moment I made the leap. I realized how much time I spent staying in my leadership role just because I was afraid that if I stepped outside of it and I didn't get a paycheck and I didn't make enough money, then it was the perspective of, why would I be so selfish and make my family suffer just because I don't like my job? Like, suck it up, Stephaney. Just because I have to make sacrifices, suck it up. That was that old mentality, right? And realizing that paycheck that I was attached to every 2 weeks, it was dictating my life. It was costing me weekends and holidays. I would miss family events. I was called for unexpected obligatory overtime. By sticking and staying and attaching myself to this paycheck, I was sacrificing my ability to show up for the loved ones that I claimed I was doing all of this for in the first place, right? Calling out when my kids were sick felt burdensome. It felt shameful. I had fear of judgment when my younger son was sick and I had all his doctor's appointments. I had this internal battle. I knew my family was my priority, and I kept telling myself, they are my priority. They are your priority, Stephaney. You're always going to be there for them. I'm putting them first. But in me putting them first came the shame and the blame and the guilt associated with calling out, associated with wanting to be there Christmas morning when they woke up instead of being at the hospital. That paycheck costed me so many memories and so much time where I said, out of one side of my mouth, I'm putting my family first, and out of the other side, I can't let go of this paycheck, which meant I wasn't putting them first. Remember, I'm saying all this with grace. Your sense of control in life is relinquished over to that paycheck because your employer, that's the trade-off. Your trade-off is you show up and we pay you. They determine when you show up. They determine how much you make. Right now, your schedule, your income, your work environment, they're all controlled by someone else. All of it. As a legal nurse consultant, you choose your clients, you set your schedule, you dictate the terms in which you work with people on. If you don't like working with someone else, then you don't work with them again. Every day in the hospital job, you're giving up this autonomy. You're giving up this freedom. You're giving up this control. We call this safe and secure, but we're giving all that up. It's not really safe and secure. The cost of your opportunity is by far the greatest, because if you stay in your current position, again, there's time delay on building a business. that business you build could change your entire lifestyle and could bring you more of what you want. Every month you spend in your safe paycheck, every month you spend in that safety net, you're not spending that time growing yourself in a practice like L&C, where you could build connections, gain experience, refine your skills in another field, and make multiple of what you're making right now. The time you continue to spend inside of your day job, collecting that paycheck, is time lost in growing your business that you will never get back. We all say we want more money, but time is the one thing that we can never make back. We can always go figure out how to make more money, right? I mean, that's part of it. But time is something, once you lose it, it's gone. Flexibility. We all say we want it. We all say we want more flexibility, but we won't take, like, legal nursing is a field that gives it to you. I mean, maximum flexibility. You set your own hours. You can work from anywhere. You give all your time to your family and put your family first. You actually work when you want, and business works around your life. And if you want to work more one week and less than another, great. If you want to work with less attorneys or don't want to work with an attorney, fine. You dictate that. Someone else doesn't. So if you've had a really rough day, you get to give yourself grace. But when you're collecting that paycheck, you don't. Because no matter how hard the day before is, you're going to show up the next day because someone else said so. That's what it turns out to be. We are so afraid of really getting or taking what we've wanted. We've always wanted maximum freedom. We want the flexibility. We want to put our family first. We say all these things. With legal nurse consulting, you can actually do it. You can take it. You can make it yours. But we have so much fear around doing this because we're so afraid. We're so attached to that paycheck. We think if we lose that paycheck, we've lost it all. That's absolutely inaccurate, especially when you and I both know that you could quite literally, go get another nursing job somewhere else. Could we not all? And you could also go part-time or PRN while you're growing your business. Investing in yourself, whether it's training, mentorship, starting your own business, reading, investing in yourself isn't about walking away from something secure. It's about building real security because you're doing it on your terms. Investing in yourself is the real security. Here, I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to ask you this. What would happen, and this is something we've done before, but what would happen if you didn't take the leap into legal nursing? You've been thinking about it, you want to, but what happens if you don't take the leap? What does life look like 5 years from now? And really think about this. Everything stays the same. You're making the same money. You're working at the same hospital, dealing with the same nonsense, the same people, the same pains, the same aggravations, the same politics, the same inflation. Nothing changes. 5 years from now, are you going to be okay with that? Because when you say no to yourself, that's what you're saying. You're accepting that I'm just going to leave it all the same and I'm okay with it. If you're not okay with it, it's time for you to act on it. It's time for you to really look into, what does life look like 5 years from now if I do take that leap? What does life look like if I do take that leap? It's about shifting perspective. So many of us are like, but I can't lose that paycheck. Why don't you ask yourself what it's like and what life would be like if you let go of the paycheck? Just ask yourself. I didn't tell you to let go of it. I said, ask yourself what life is like if you do. Because you spent a lot of time thinking about what life is like if I let go of it, all the fears. Oh my gosh, I can't support. But what if I do let go of that paycheck and I'm a legal nurse and I'm making $150 an hour and I'm bringing in the same income, and at $150 an hour, wow, that's like less than half of the hours. And my family is still fed. So if I'm making the same amount of money as a legal nurse consultant, working less than half of the time, what does life look like then? Why don't you give yourself permission to ask, what could life look like? Because there is no harm no blame and no loss in thinking and considering what life could really look like if you do take that leap.